So today we're going to do a review on the Ancel PB100 voltage probe, power probe, and we're going to use it on this Ford Edge, and we're also going to use it on a Shelby Mustang GT500, or a Shelby GT500 that's it's got some voltage issues. It's got a charge light coming on for the alternator. So let's get into it, the introduction, and then let's go out to the car and use it and see how it does. And basically here it is. Pretty nice, looks pretty heavy duty. We're gonna use just the one side. We don't need the whole entire extra addition that comes with it. We're good there, we don't need that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and hook our, you see the square side and the round side? They marry appropriately. It'll only go together one way. So we'll go ahead and push that together. So right here it says positive, right here it says negative. It shows you exactly where it is. On your head up here, you got your probe that's actually built into the back of it, so you'll slide it up and out of there. Or it's got pressure tabs, so you don't have to do, you can just pull it straight up and then you'll plug it into the end of the unit here. There's actually two ways that this system can be powered up. You can use the vehicle power through the voltage supply, power supply, cigarette lighter. It's got an indicator light that it's plugged in, but we won't actually be using that part today. We don't need to. We're actually gonna go right from the vehicle battery. Let's go out to the car and actually hook this up. All right, I've got this set up and you can see this is extremely long. I mean, I'm, what, 15, 20 feet away, but man, this thing's super long. You can definitely go from more than one end of the car to the other. We're gonna hook it up for the first time right now. Something to notice about this is you do have your own ground lead off of the unit right here. So if you need ground and you're testing for something, like you get your digital volt ohm meter out and you need to add a ground to your circuit to check for things, here you go, here's a ground right here, you can check. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hook this up for the first time, the power up. I'm gonna set this ground in here. That ground to this ground right here. Let's switch this over to resistance. Let's check. So it's saying we have no resistance there. Let's check resistance to power. Oh well. That's good. Let's check resistance to this over here. Check resistance here. Basically OL. We got good resistance there. Let's check resistance to this ground up here. We got good resistance there. See, what we're doing is we're checking our ground path. This meter automatically switches and knows we're trying to check our ground circuit. It's got a computer inside it that's able to pick up what we're doing. So we have it set on resistance reading here. We got our ground hooked up and it's checking through the ground circuit of that to the probe itself. It knows how to switch. So we're checking all of our grounds. Oh well. Or I mean 0, 0. So we got good grounds. Let's check and see if we got any grounds over here. Check this side of the motor. We're good there. Got good ground there. Let's go down underneath this thing and check for power. Well, there's a diode check here, but we don't have anything to check a diode. So you check basically for one-way flow. You'll put the connection on one side of the diode versus the other side of the diode, and it'll tell you what's flowing through it. And then you have alternating current, which you can check at the regulator, but it ain't gonna do you very much. So it tells you max, min, frequency in hertz. So it's actually, you can actually get the frequency of something while it's rotating. You can actually measure live from here the frequency of an object. I like this. This is actually really, really cool. This is very nice, very easy to use. There's no going back and forth in between multiple different screens and stuff like that. It's all on one screen right here, done. So let's put it up in the air and let's check for voltage at the alternator. All right, so we're gonna move up underneath the car now and check for power at the actual alternator. Switch this back over to so we got good power here, but there's something going on with this thing. There's something acting up with this alternator to where you gotta rev it up to get it to it's really odd. I switched it over to the 2019 Edge, but I didn't get any good footage without a lot of noise being in the background. I was able to diagnose with this that I was losing power on the supply pin to the rear trunk gate module, which led me to figuring out this main pin here was damaged. After using the voltage probe, power probe here, you can see that half of the connection is just broken out of here. I really, really like this thing, and I'm going to give my afterthoughts on using it initially. Overall, in the initial use, this was a phenomenal product. I even dropped it pretty hard, put a nice dent in the screen. Still works, still turns on, no problem at all. It was able to, it fell from about 8 feet and hit the ground, fell on a piece of metal, still fired right up, no problem at all. I know it sucks, just get it and already damage it, but no issue there at all. There were some concerns. Overall, this unit worked very well. This would, in a shop environment, this would handle most heavy-duty use, no problem at all. I love the fact that they add twice the extension in here. It's longer than other devices I've used. They even show a picture on the website of going from one end of a semi to another. This is phenomenal. I like the fact that everything's all in one screen and all you're doing is toggling between. I like the fact that after you get used to this unit, each individual thing that you're testing for has its own sound. If you notice, when you tested for power, it was like a ding, 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 ding. You test them for ground, it was a ding, 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 ding. It was like a double note, a single note for power, a double note for ground. And then when you're testing for resistance, it's a consistent ding, 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 ding. Each one of them have their own note. So after you get used to this unit, you know already when you're testing for things what's there, what it's indicating. Hey, you got good resistance here. You're checking from ground to ground. Good resistance. You're checking power. Good power. You're checking, what was the other? You're checking just solid ground. You're just checking for battery ground. It has its own note. So those things were phenomenal. And being able to toggle between the screens right here made it easy where you don't have to back out, go to another setting in another part of the screen somewhere else. It was just all right there for you. Now the good stuff, that was all the good stuff. Let's talk about the bad things that I would like to see. Maybe I'm just being picky, but that I would like to see changed. This probe. It's so easy to grab this from the end of it as it's plugged in here, and the casing completely come off of it, literally, and then this part kind of gets stuck in the end. Maybe I'm being picky. I don't necessarily like that. I wish they would have fixed the plastic to this somehow, but then again, maybe it makes for easy changeable parts in case anything does mess up. You know, you can change the plastic or you can change the probe and not the plastic. But anyway, I would like to see this piece fixed to the plastic, so when you grab the plastic and pull it out of there, you don't just pull the plastic out and then leave the probe inside the unit. Now the other thing was, there was one incident where I went to hook this up and move from the Mustang over to the Edge to test for that power issue that I was having at the liftgate, and the unit wouldn't fire up. It was completely laggy. The screen would light up, but nothing would load. And then I waited, you know, about a minute, nothing happened. I had to go back to the vehicle battery, unhook it, and hook it back in, and then it rebooted it and loaded right up. So those are the only two things I noticed using this all day yesterday. Literally from the time I got here until the time I went home last night, almost 9-10 hours. This thing was plugged in from the time I got here. Even when I walked away from the vehicle and wasn't using it, I still left it plugged in. The screen stayed lit up the whole entire time. The unit itself, for what they're asking, is a phenomenal unit. And I'm really impressed with it, and I would definitely recommend other people using this unit. Not because it was given to me. You guys know that I'm fair. I'm not biased towards products. I like all tool manufacturers and stuff like that. If the product works, it works. And this just simply works. It's a good product. It's worth investing the money in. And I do give my blessing on those that follow me that are asking me, does this work in your environment? Would this work in a shop? Absolutely, 100%. I love the case. I love the film molding and stuff to keep everything together. I think it's a quality product. One thing I would like to see changed is I would like this somehow to be fixed to the probe. That's just a picky thing on my part, I know. But that's my review. Thank you guys. I appreciate all your time. Thank you for watching. Thank you to the supplier that sent this to me. This was not a sponsored video. This was just them simply saying, try it out. Let us know what you think. We just need to know, is it worth us putting time into? Is it worth us investing, putting on our website? Let us know what you think about the product because we need to know if it actually holds up. It does. It's a great product. Thanks, guys.